Beyond.
Welcome to episode 59.
59.
59, dudes. 59 of Podcast Beyond.
59 of
Episode
59.
59.
I am your host, Chris Roper, editor-in-chief of the IGN PlayStation team. We're down a man today.
Jeff
but
Haynes.
Jeff Haynes is not here.
Oh.
Yeah, he's out of the office. He's at an event.
If you hear a Portal ringtone, you're going to be down me too. I got a mom coming in.
Oh, I'm going to have to bail. Well, while you're still here, Greg
Yeah.
Miller is here.
Hey!
And Ryan Clements, of course, is here.
Padme okay?
No. Thank God there's no line like that in Force Unleashed. All right, let's get right on with the Roper Report.
Time for some news.
So today's thing's a bunch of announcements and delays. I guess the one delay is that Harry Potter is delayed until you kind of assume this when the film got delayed, but EA's game is coming out next year sometime. Was it summer? Whenever the movie ships,
Yeah,
but
that's when the movie
they're waiting alongside the movie, which makes perfect sense. Everybody kind of assumed that already. Motorstorm is official for October 28th.
Finally, because I have
Motorstorm
no
Pacific
games
Rift.
to play in October.
Yeah,
I'm glad
'cause
to finally have something
there's
to go
nothing
through.
else. There's nothing else coming out that day. Jeopardy is coming to the PlayStation Network. In fact, it's coming today, apparently. So that's gonna be pretty cool. And the last bit of news I'll mention today is that the Guitar Hero folks have been making plenty of announcements recently, but there's been some pretty cool ones in the past week or two. Today they announced that Ted Nugent is gonna be in the game.
Nice.
And he's going to be a boss battle. You'll fight him in Stranglehold. Last week, they announced that Sting will be in the game. Sting will be playable. But greatest of all, doesn't sound like the band is going to be in there, but there will be 3 songs, not just one, but 3 from Tool, my favorite band of all time, including an arena that is set up like their Lateralis tour, from what I can tell. So you have eyeballs and stuff flying in the background. So you Tool fans out there should be rather excited about that one.
Your
that's
favorite band of all time.
Is Tool.
Without question.
Yeah.
Wow.
But wait.
What's
There's
that?
late breaking news.
What's this?
oh,
That's
snap.
more.
Rock Band is getting DLC content from Stephen Colbert.
Oh, that's right, Stephen Colbert.
Stephen and the Colberts are bringing their hit singles over there.
And it's going to be free.
Yep. And then also, we just found out that Pain Amusement Park is coming out today on the
Pain
PlayStation
Amusement
Network.
Park. There we go. So you get a little Zombie Blognack tied into the Roper Report
There
right
you
there.
go. Perfect.
But things are coming out on PlayStation today, but that's not the only place that you can find them. The store is not the only place you can find them. You can also find them on retail shelves. Games come out there as well. Greg, can you tell us what is coming to retail shelves?
Sure, I will turn to the official IGN list of upcoming software on all 3 platforms by the IGN editors.
You missed a word.
Damn it.
You missed PlayStation. It's the official IGN list of upcoming PlayStation software on all 3 platforms by the IGN editors.
Okay.
Close, though.
Whatever. PlayStation 3 got TNA Impact this week, NHL 09, NHL 2K9. PS2 got TNA Impact, Yakuza 2, NHL 2K9, Cabela's Legendary Adventures. PlayStation Portable got Cabela's Legendary Adventures. And then PlayStation Network is getting Jeopardy and
Cabela's Legendary
the
Adventures?
Pain Amusement Park in Majig. That's a lot. A lot of content.
Yeah, let me look at this list here.
It's written in chicken scratch.
I got to go with, it seems like NHL 9 is probably.
I think so.
Or Yakuza 2. I think that's a close one. I think we're at the split between the consoles. If you got a PS3, NHL 09 is the one to go.
All right.
And if you got a PS2, Yakuza 2.
Yakuza 2.
Pick of the week! Pick of the week! Woo! There you go. Nice little pick of the week there this week. Zombie Blognack is on tour with Jeff, I guess.
Just on tour with Jeff.
Jeff's the only one who can communicate with Zombie.
Yeah, we don't understand his moans and meows and all that, so.
His meows.
Meows. So, but we wrapped it up, I think, pretty well. Jeopardy's coming.
Yeah.
Pain Amusement Park.
Are we excited for Jeopardy? Do we have any?
I kind of am, but I mean, we've never seen it.
Yeah,
so.
that's the problem.
But I like Jeopardy as the show.
Yeah.
I want to see like Alex Trebek looks like on the PlayStation 3. I want to see if he has mustache or not. That's my big question. Alex with the mustache, Alex without. That tells you whether he's invincible or not. So.
I don't know. The game show hosts in video games have never quite looked right in the head.
That's why I want to see it, especially if he has the mustache.
Epic shout out to people who are PlayStation fans, but also DS owners, is the 1 versus 100 game that I played with Database Mike when he was reviewing it. Bob Saget looked so demonic and terrible in that game.
Well, he is demonic.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, that's true.
I have a plug-and-play Deal or No Deal on my desk where we hide something of value to the PlayStation team.
Yes.
And when you plug that
Your
in,
soul.
Howie Mandel's eyes are like that of bees or flies, like they're giant white things, and then they have all these lines in them, dividing them up.
That's really creepy.
I know.
Holy crap.
Unfortunately, that plug-and-play version of Deal or No Deal is one of the best versions of Deal or No Deal on any platform.
One of the better versions.
Which was also true about 4 years ago, I guess. There was when the first slew of poker games came out on all, a bunch of stuff on PS2 and whatnot, and there was a handheld poker game that you just plugged directly into TV, and it was the best one on the market. It had the best AI, and Ivan and I were just playing it for hours on end because it was the best poker game on the market.
Nice.
Let's get on to we're going to do pick of the week. Trophy tips. Anything new for Warhawk?
Just the tip. No, I don't have any. I haven't had time to play. It's that time of year right now.
Yeah,
where
it is
you
that
gotta
time
put
of
all
year.
your personal stuff aside.
Total craziness ongoing forever, basically. Review season is upon us.
Just the tip.
Oh, I guess in this vein of information with Pain coming out today, they have revamped the trophies. Like they put out the list of what they're going to do for trophies, and they scaled them back because they were too hard for people.
So if you got them the first time, I wonder if you got them the first time and they were harder ones. Does it flag it anyway?
No, they don't have them. They don't exist yet. Like they announced the trophy list. People looked at the list and said, "This is BS. I'm never going to be able to do that."
I got you. They never went. Okay.
That's why it was one of the reasons it was delayed.
Because I haven't really played it, so I was under the impression that they did go up.
I see.
Yeah, so that's good. Let's get on to topic of the week this week.
Topic of the week. It's topic of the week.
So
I like that one. That's good.
There's a lot of Burnout fans out there, especially with EA and Criterion, especially Criterion, doing a great job of supporting the game, Burnout Paradise, in what they're calling the Year of Burnout. All kinds of updates coming along. The Bikes pack, along with, it's a separate thing, but the Trophies update should also be coming for the PS3. But the Bikes pack is coming to 360 and PS3 sometime in the next near future. No specific date, but probably in the next couple weeks. To talk about the Bikes pack, we got a couple guys from Criterion we're going to get on the phone here. So let's
Doug and Pete.
Let's get on with them and see what they have to tell us about Burnout Bikes.
Let's go!
All right, first off, guys, thanks for calling in here. Very much appreciated.
No problem, Chris. It's great to be here.
So why don't we just start off where you just what can you just tell us about the Bikes update?
Tell us about the bikes. Wow, well, this is all new for Burnout. We're bringing bikes, 2 wheels instead of 4, to Paradise City. You've been able to play with all the cars and everything so far. So now we're bringing day and night and bicycles. So that's characters and 2 wheels. So that's speed more than anything.
But the update also includes things like weather and dynamic time.
It does indeed. What we're trying to do is we're really trying to change the way that people can experience Paradise City. We don't want to keep the same experience all year long. So we're introducing time, day and night. So that's a full 24-hour cycle in Paradise City, which you can then set up and customize yourself. If you want it to only last 24 minutes or if you want it to be real time, you can do that. And we're also included in that is weather. So we're not doing rain and snow at the moment. We're just looking at doing fog, things that will really affect the way you drive and the way you see the world. So it's a very different visual experience than it has been before.
Can you talk about the way that the bikes control? I know I've played a couple hours of the game so far with the bikes update in there.
You're a lucky man.
Yeah, and they're to me seem designed very much how the cars are, where they're easy to control, but you can go very fast, and you have basically perfect manipulation over your ride. How did that come about? Because it's a very different thing from the cars.
Well, a lot of games have done bikes, and we wanted to give an experience that's different than other people. We like and enjoy playing other people's games. So we didn't want to go down a simulation route. Burnout's never been about simulation of grip and all this kind of thing. So we've tried to make a really accessible experience on the bikes, the same as we did on the cars. In fact, the bikes are aimed even more accessible than the cars are. They don't crash as easily, especially the bikes you get early on in this new progression. You can, bounce around and you can just really enjoy riding around Paradise City quite easily. I know you've played it, so hopefully you got along with it rather well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, we wanted anyone really just to pick up and play this and enjoy racing around the new burning rides and just enjoying playing their license. And, when you get online with 8 other people, just everyone gets to enjoy themselves. No one's just crashing out all the time or spinning out around corners. Everyone's just riding.
I'm curious, guys, what sort of challenges presented themselves to you when you're included, the models of the drivers on those bikes? Because that's sort of a new sort of concept because usually you don't really see that in terms of the cars, and now you have to have a fully rendered character on the bike. So how was that coming into development for you guys?
Absolutely. Well, it was a huge step for us taking, as you've said, we don't have drivers in the cars in Burnout Paradise, but we've introduced characters. So we wanted to keep this game accessible for everyone. So early on, we made the decision that we didn't want the characters flying off the bikes and bailing down the roads like you see in some games. We wanted to concentrate the player's experience on the ride. So we spent an awful lot of time making sure the rider looks great as he's leaning and waving around and looking around on the bike. If you pass near really close to cars, you'll see him look around at them. He really connects with the world. You can also choose, we wanted to not just put a bloke in there. We've got male and female riders with lots of different visual costumes and things on them which match the bikes. So the female doesn't just get on the bloke's bike. It's a girl's bike. It's pink. There's a rabbit on the side, and, it's interesting for everyone to play.
Oh, that's kind of awesome. I want the rabbit bike in real life.
How does the progression work for the bikes? I know that you started with a new license. Are the challenges roughly the same as what you would see with a car?
Well, no, with the bike, it's all about riding. So the bike license works alongside the car license. It doesn't interact. So it's kind of delivering like a new game, really. So when you're on the bike, you press the button and you can see your bike license. Around the world, there are 38 new burning rides. So these are similar to the burning routes you do on a car. So it's about you testing your speed from one point in the city to another. But we've also added checkpoint burning rides, which we didn't have on the cars, where you'll be driving around a route in the city. So we have round-the-world races, and these are split between day and night, which is also new gameplay for the bike. So some events are only available at certain times of day.
How does all of this stuff work online?
So online, we have the offline progression is the license. Online, we've introduced 17 new challenges, which are specific for the bikes. So they work separately from the cars. You have people playing the car challenges, and then you can go into a game, you free burn and you free ride around with people on bikes. So you can have up to 8 players playing a mixture of challenges, whether they're classic free burn challenges, which is you and a number of mates just trying to achieve something cool, whether it's do tricks, pull wheelies, or you can do one of the 35 new timed multi-part challenges, which we introduced for cars in our Cagney update. These allow you to do multi-part things like race here and then pull a wheelie, or pull a wheelie and then crash into each other. So adding a lot more interest. You're doing them against the clock, so they're a little bit more competitive.
Does the host of the game have complete control over weather and day and night cycle?
They do indeed. However the host has set up their Paradise City is how everyone else experiences it. So if I've set myself, so I'm always playing at midnight because I love driving around at night. When you join my game, your time will fast forward and you'll see all the clouds and the sun spin through the sky in time lapse until you catch up with where I am.
What can you tell us about where bikes might go in the future? Because you guys have done a ton of updates for the game, and it looks like you guys aren't done anytime soon. So where and what's in there is great, but you've got 4 bikes in the game, and it seems like there's room for for that to grow. So where are you planning on going?
Yeah, well, everything we're trying to do in Paradise City now is based on feedback from our consumers. So, if you go to CriterionGames.com, you can kind of talk directly to us about what you enjoy. So we're really just interested at the moment in seeing what people make of us putting bikes in Paradise. Because, like we've all said, this is a brand new thing for us, characters, bikes, night and day. We just want to hear people's feedback. So, please, once you've played it, go to CriterionGames.com and tell us what you think.
So first off, when can we expect to actually see the bikes available for download?
Well, there's going to be an announcement very soon on the aforementioned CriterionGames.com on that, but it is very soon. You'll be able to play this on PlayStation and Xbox.
Very good. And then next for you guys is a pretty big update. It sounds like we're going to have new areas to race in. What's that all about?
Yeah, well, we've been teasing around all the things that we've been trying to do here at Criterion for a long time now. We're still working on, there's an island in development, we're working on that. We're working on a lot of things that unfortunately I can't tell you about right now. Keep up to date with what we're doing on our podcast, just to, get a plug in there for Crash TV as well. There's an awful lot happening that if you think bikes is the end, it's not. It is just the beginning of where we're going. So
I know you guys have been calling this the year of burnout, but when does that year end? How long is this going for?
We want to keep developing things as long as people keep playing them. So if you're still enjoying what we're doing and you still want more from our game, then we will keep developing things and new things. We want people to be playing in Paradise for as long as possible.
That's very good. I have to say that for a while now, I've been wanting you guys to take over an EA franchise, and I'm hoping that the bikes is sort of a test for this. What are the chances that you guys will make the next Road Rash?
Wow. We're obviously very big fans of the original Road Rash, but at the moment we're really concentrating on making Burnout the biggest and best thing it possibly can be. But it's great to, think that you want us to make that.
Okay, well, if I can put in my 2 cents, I would like to see another Burnout game sometime in the future, also Road Rash and also Black 2. So if you guys can make all 3 of those games, that would be great for me.
No vacation for me this year, then.
Well, it's all about me, so
You can take 1 or 2 days.
Yeah.
1 or 2 days is fine. After that, though, I get back to development.
Yeah.
Great, guys. Well, I think that's pretty much all we have on our end. So thank you very much for calling in here. It's very much appreciated.
No problem, not at all. Obviously, keep your eye on CriterionGames.com for the announcement that we're going to make very shortly.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, guys.
All right, so that was cool. Now we know all about Burnout bikes. Hopefully, we see that sooner than later.
Thank you, gentlemen, for your time.
Yes.
And your accents.
And the accents were fantastic. Great work on those. You've been practicing a lot.
Practicing accents.
If for fun, you can go back and listen. And when the first time the guy says "blokes," Ryan cracks up.
Yep.
Do I?
He found it so cute.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, probably did.
And I think you did it every time. It just wasn't. It just wasn't as audible.
I do like the word bloke when it is used with an accent. It's just charming.
Do you like being called a bloke?
If it's with an accent, why not?
Aye, bloke.
Yeah.
All right, let's get right into our favorite part of the show called Reader Mail.
Mail call.
Maelstrom.
Male, female.
Male pigeon.
Male. Here comes the male pigeon.
Mail enhancement pill.
Oh yeah.
Male enhancement. Wow.
That's a good one.
Enzite.
Oh, yeah. Little plug for Insight there.
I don't, we don't get the real cable in my house, so like
Bob is-
11:30, 12,
It's
when we get ready
Bob,
for
right?
bed, I'll flip through. I stop at that. No, that's the different one, I think, isn't it?
I don't know. What's the one with Bob and he has that?
Smiling
He's
Bob.
smiling. Yeah, and he's.
I think that is.
No, that's something different. Because Enzite,
What
unless
is
they don't,
Propecia? Is Propecia
I think it's hair,
antidepressant?
isn't it?
Oh, it's hair. That's right. All these things get totally confusing to me. I think if you don't use them, you have no idea what any of them
Oh,
are.
that's the problem. You're right. It is Enzite for Smiling Bob. The horrible infomercial I watch all the time is Extends,
Extend.
which is now
Never seen that.
It's pills and it is soda. Extends.
I wonder if that goes good
Drink
lunch.
soda.
I don't know. I've thought about
To
sending it to
enhance
people in the
your-
office because, like, I literally at least during the night I'll be flipping around right before I go to bed, and it's always on, and it's just so terrible. Like, 'cause
Man.
it's all that man on the street crap where like everybody they talk to on the street's like, oh, I totally know what Extends is. I use it all the time.
Great.
Drink Extend soda.
So that'll be a fun IGN prank to watch. I will report back when I start sending these to the Xbox team.
Very good. So
Or
getting
to
on
me.
with reader mail, the first one comes from Jared, and he says, "What racer do you think I should pick up this year if you can only pick up one between Midnight Club Los Angeles, Motorstorm Pacific Rift, and Need for Speed Underground?" Need for Speed is not this year, so that doesn't count.
Choices just got easier.
Yeah, now you're 1 out of 2. So the choices are Midnight Club Los Angeles and Motorstorm Pacific Rift. I have played both games, and so far what I've played of them, I am greatly enjoying the bits that I've played at least. So I've played a little bit more of Midnight Club than I have Motorstorm, but I like what I've seen out of both games. I don't think that either one's going to be a huge disappointment in any fashion. Now, really the pick for these two is what kind of racing game do you want to get. If you like to mod your cars, you like to swap out parts, you like to upgrade engines or whatever, then Midnight Club is your game. And if you like off-road stuff, you don't like staying to regular tracks, if you don't want the open city, you want a little more straightforward of predefined stuff, then Motorstorm's the way to go. I think it's kind of you can get by with playing both those games, and they won't seem like they're overlapping each other. So if you have the money to get both of them.
Except they both have cars.
They both do have cars. But one more focuses on trucks and
And it's on an island.
it's on an island.
I think it's Lost Island, but they haven't confirmed that for me
I
yet.
think it's the
I think
what
it's
is
actually the space between spaces, Greg.
No, I think it's the who is it? The Robinsons?
Robinson
Or-
Crusoe?
No, well the family that was back
Swiss
in time.
family Robinson?
They went back in time. Land of the Lost.
Land of the Lost.
That's
Okay,
it. I
now
think
we're
it's-
there.
I think it's on
so
that.
you were thinking space, not island. I get you. Okay.
Yeah. Next one comes from Thomas. He says, "Hey Greg,
Hey.
any idea what the trophies in SingStar Volume 2 are going to be like?"
Dos.
From what I heard, they are not going to be trophies in Volume 2. I
Well-
don't know where Thomas got that information. They
Thomas
said
is-
that they're looking into putting trophies into SingStar in general. However,
Yes.
Volume 2 is already out in the Great Britain area, and they're that's how I
Britain.
say Great Britain. Great Britain. And there's no trophies there.
Payne?
So I'm assuming if you were going to see trophies, it wouldn't be until Volume 3 or just a patch on the road.
There we go.
What about Volume 4?
What about
I
Volume
don't like
28?
volumes in general, personally. That's my SingStar beef right there.
Because I never know when I'm writing about it. If you do VOL dot or write out
that's
volume.
not my argument against it. Mine is
That's my
I would rather
argument
just
against it.
download the songs to my hard drive and not have to worry about switching out discs.
Yep.
Unless they're going to do something, overhaul the whole structure of it, you know what I mean? But from what I've seen with Volume 2, it hasn't.
Dew writes in and he says, looking way into the future with our cosmic crystal balls. I don't know what kind of balls he has. Will the next iteration of PlayStation be not the PlayStation 4, but PlayStation Online and run entirely off the PlayStation Network? So he's referring to downloadable games only, no disc-based stuff.
That will not happen.
I think PlayStation 5 may be happening with that.
Yeah.
A good 10 years from now or whatever that's going to be. But, yeah, PS4, I think people are still going to want to buy disc, and, I'm going to agree with you, Greg. I don't think that they're going to get rid of everything. Plus, you figure right now, as much bandwidth as people have, the games right now are hitting 50 gigs. And so you're like, well, do you want to download a 50 gig game?
Yeah.
And then next generation, you figure maybe it's 10 times that. So a 500 gig game, do you want to, I don't think so.
Comcast would not like that at all.
And Jeff would flip a bitch over.
Yeah, you would double the bandwidth allowance from Comcast by downloading one game. Comcast better be looking to the future for PS4 if they know what's up. Jeff, not Haynes, writes in and says he loves the look of the games from the Behemoth, the guys that made Castle Crashers and Alien Hominid, but he does not have an Xbox 360. Do we expect either of those games to come to the PlayStation Network? No. They are Microsoft published, so no. They're both awesome games, though.
I haven't played Castle Crashers yet. I'm really excited.
Yeah, I downloaded it. I have not turned it on yet.
It's pretty rad. I like it a whole lot.
Downloaded the original Mega Man last night for Virtual Console. I'm excited to give that a spin.
Yeah.
There you go.
How close to Mega Man 9 are we, though?
What's that?
How close to Mega Man 9 are we?
Probably
Pretty
fairly
close.
soon,
Maybe.
right?
Yeah.
Did they
Couple
put an
weeks, I
official
think.
date on that at all?
I don't remember the date specifically, but it's soon.
It seems like it should be done by now.
Yeah, see, I'm just waiting on that.
Yeah, it's
And
pretty soon.
I have a story that'll lead into that later.
Oh, there we go.
Delicious.
The Skies Alive 92 says, where in the blue hell is the full version of Gran Turismo 5? Should he be prepared to wait until 2010? Probably.
Oh,
Seems like it's going to be, unfortunately, a long time away. I want to play that game too.
2010.
Are you still playing Prologue?
That's 4 years.
No, I'm not playing Prologue anymore. I mean, if they, put new content in there, I'll do it. But Jeff Hardy 42 writes in.
Yeah,
He says,
Jeff Hardy.
Says first thing is he knows that Greg doesn't accept anyone on his PlayStation Network friends list unless they have SingStar and are adding through that. But he added you on the 360 because he doesn't have SingStar. And his question is, why did you deny him on 360?
Because I don't add anyone on the on 360 that I don't know. I have to know you personally to add you on the 360.
Here's my thing for 360, and this is on my end. That's Greg's rule. On my end of the 360 is I'm fine to add whoever on either system, and the same thing on like Facebook or whatever. Somebody's adding me on there, but I have to know that they're a listener of some sort. Like on Facebook, it's kind of easy because if somebody adds me, it'll say they're friends with 5 other people. I click on it, and they're it's Eric and Hillary, and I'm like, okay, they're IGN reader. But on on 360, I can't tell. So if somebody's gonna send me a friend request and I don't know who you are, send me a message to say Beyond or whatever. Just so long as you say that, then I'll know, and then I'll add you on there. I have no problem doing that. Greg is only going to add friends.
Yeah. My thing is that, I just don't play multiplayer games all that often, so I don't need a billion friends on there trying to get me to play something in particular.
I don't really play it either, but I'm like, if somebody wants to track what games I'm playing, which isn't very much these days on 360, I'm like, whatever.
Yeah.
Do whatever you want to do.
I think I just get more requests than you because I'm more popular.
Well, we'll see.
But anyways, I do want to, sorry for everybody who gets pissed off when I deny them. I don't mean it. And same things for the kids who drop me messages all the time. I get a lot of messages on my PSN accounts, but the problem is that, as I'm sure you guys know, we use, like right now I'm, switching between 3 PlayStation 3s that are all on the retail server, so those messages don't carry over. And when I get a message at home, I don't respond to it because I'm there to play the game and then get off and go, be with my wife or whatever. I don't have time to sit and not only that, I don't have a keyboard at home, so I don't sit there and do it. And even... Yeah. It's just a pain in the butt. Like, we're on the system to do something, and then we immediately have to jump and do something else. So I've turned off all my notifications too, so I don't get anything popping up saying I have a message. So
I should probably do that. That's starting to get annoying.
Yeah.
Let's see. Percussion Master writes in. He says, when do you guys think it'll be appropriate to require all PlayStation 3 games to implement trophies? He's loving the system, but he's disappointed that many games are not shipping with them, such as Fallout 3, Force Unleashed, Binding Commander Rearmed, etc. Wouldn't we think that it should be fairly simple for a multi-platform game to include it? If there are already achievements implemented. To me, that seems like a very valid point. If you already have achievements, why wouldn't it just work with...
the only thought I can have on it, and I'm not a developer at all, is that that's something at the very base you have to do. You know what I mean? Like when you first start making that game, you have to put in this thing and how it's going to happen, yada yada. And you figure when they port over 360 or take that code to PS3 and start working on it, if they've already put it in development, like most
They've
of the
already
games now,
split the code.
They've already deleted all that code, so it's not like they can just come in and remove all the stuff and put it back in under that layer and then put everything back on top of it.
That's very true. That's probably the case.
Just realized making a game was like building a cake.
Yep, you like that?
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
But I'm sick of it too, man. I'm really ready to get that.
Yep. As far as timing, I think any game shipping in 2009 being a requirement seems reasonable by me because they would have had 6 months warning.
Yeah.
So, but we'll see. Black Mano says, have we ever completely ignored a reviewable copy of a game, as in not have reviewed it at all, that was sent to us from a game company because it was completely horrible?
No.
No.
No, we review everything.
Yeah, we review everything. The only stuff that we don't review are things that are way outside of our grasp. On the console end, we review everything. On the PC side, there's stuff that comes from, like one dude in his basement, and there's some Penguin games, and we got, and it's like, they were like 50 by 50 pixel pictures. Yeah, there's Tux, and they were blown up, like, they're
Super Tux, that was it.
Yeah, Super Tux, bootable games and those things we didn't review. Like, PC has way too much stuff to get around to, but if it's a console game and it gets sent to us, we're going to review it.
Yeah.
So, or even if we don't get sent, if a console game comes out, we're going to review it. PC is a little harder to do because there's 20 trillion games, and I can go make a game tomorrow in Game Maker and send it to Charles, and I definitely review it. So
we should try that.
Yeah, actually that'd be pretty good. I'll make something very obscene and send it. It'll be funny. Charles will be like, "What is this? I'm Canadian."
He won't say penis,
Yeah,
weird.
Canadian Chaotic Monkey. I was going to say I call him Canadian Monkey. Chaotic Monkey says, "From what you guys have seen of Little Big Planet, are you skeptical, or are you sure it'll be Fantasticals?"
Fantasticals.
I am 100
no doubt in my mind.
billion% the game is Fantasticals.
I'm really ready for that game.
Do not in any fashion doubt the power of Little Big Planet.
In fact, I recommend that every single listener at least tell 5 other people to go purchase Little Big Planet.
There you go.
Also, get a bunch of NyQuil and try to hibernate until Little Big Planet is released.
There you go.
Wow, that's dangerous.
Oh, they'll be fine. They're tough.
Shouldn't tell
They're
them
Podcast Beyond listeners. They're all right.
In other news, 400 podcast listeners died.
Our entire audience.
Yeah, don't drink the Kool-Aid. Ashadello writes in and he says, Wipeout HD is coming in October or November, and I guess that's part of a question. And it says, is it PSN only, or will we see a Blu-ray release? No Blu-ray release, and the date is TBD, but sooner than later. So maybe end of this month. Maybe.
I actually missed what game are we
Wipeout
to?
HD.
Oh, okay.
So
I actually completely blacked out then.
Yeah, so it should definitely be before November. So by sometime in October, we should see the game. So there you go. That seems to be pretty cool.
Doesn't he include how to pronounce his name in that
Yes,
question?
and that's why I pronounced it, I think, correctly.
Come on, Ryan.
No, I didn't actually hear what.
Ashadello.
Ashadello.
Yeah, it could be Ashadillo, but I think it's Ashadello.
Gotcha.
Because there's one L. He broke it into 3 things: Ash space AHA space DELO, which I think is Dello, but there probably should be 2
Dello,
L's. Yeah, I think there should be 2 L's. But anyway, I'm pretty sure I got it right. Ashadello. Let's go down my thing. Here goes. That's what I got. Here we go. There's a couple of these. I thought there was the same question repeating, but it's not. So Sean9986 writes in. He says, "Okay, guys, Tools confirmed for Guitar Hero World Tour, and he's confused. Will his Rock Band instruments work with Guitar Hero World Tour? He has a PS3 and he knows the 360 will work, but will the PS3 version? Yes, they're all going to work on all the stuff. Not PS3 to 360, but all of those instruments will work. All PS3 stuff will work together. No telling whether it's going to go back to work with the first one. So actually, if you're talking about Rock Band 1, if they'll work with Guitar Hero World Tour, I don't know about that one. Rock Band 2 and World Tour stuff will work together, but the first, this last set of games, TBD on those. He says to me, he knows he's a big Tool fan. What do I think of the songs they picked? I like them all, but putting Parabola without Parable seems odd. Parabola would be weird because it's very slow, no drums. If anybody knows that song, that one I can see them kind of cutting out. I'd like to see Ticks and Leeches on there just to get the drums going because that'd be pretty crazy. But anyway.
To get those drums flowing.
Get them going. That's pretty good.
Break it down. Come on.
That's actually kind of what it sounds like. So, Holes55 writes in. He says, this question is about the Ion drum kit for Rock Band. This is the other one I was confused about.
Craig is the drum machine.
Says he wanted to know if this might be possible since you can switch out the brain of the drum kit over to an electronic brain so that you can use it on your computer or recording device or whatever. It just basically spits out a signal. He says, would it be possible to buy the 360 Ion drum kit and then switch its brain out for the PS3 brain and then use it on the PS3? So is that the only way that he would buy the drums? He says the reason he wants to do that is so that he doesn't want to put up the $300, but he can split it with his friend and they could trade back and forth.
Oh.
So before I even get to whether that's possible or not, note that thing is a beast. Tearing it down and putting it back together is not as simple as the kit that comes with the thing. So you're not going to do that on a daily basis. If you're going to say, I'll have it for this week and you have it for next week, okay, but it's not easy.
Even then, yeah, it would get annoying.
It would get very annoying. So, kind of watch out for that one.
That thing is a beast.
Yeah. Now, as far as the switching the brain out, it should absolutely work. All of the pads and stuff on the drum are 1/4-inch jacks, like you'd plug into a guitar or whatever their electrical drum kits use. So the brain, you can just switch the brain out and use it on anything. So if you can, I don't know if you can do this, buy the PS3 brain separately, then it absolutely should work. What I'm interested in knowing, actually beyond all this, is whether the one brain would work with both systems. Yeah. I'm guessing not, but it's possible. So we'll have to see on that one.
All right.
Anyway, but if you could buy the PS3 brain separately, it should work. But I'm kind of guessing you won't be able to because it doesn't.
That doesn't make sense. Why they would want?
Not really a lot of people would do that. But anyway, Greg, you have a story that involves Rock Band in some fashion.
I do. I was having a bad day yesterday, and almost a full month ago.
Did you want to talk about your bad day, by the way?
No. Well, it was just the end of the day. It's that time of year, man. I'm stressed out. Yeah. Anytime I'm trying to go home because there's a million things I still need to do.
Yeah. I hear you.
So I was like, I'm going to go home and blah, blah, and I had to clean. My mom's coming in town today, as you know, from the possible Portal ringtone coming. And so we had to clean up the house and do a million things last night, and I was already tired and cranky, and I didn't feel like doing it. And then I remembered on the way home that I had a Wii Points card in my bag that I had bought from EB/GameStop. I got to think about that every time.
Yeah.
Yep, me too.
GameSpot, GameSpot, GameStop, Game Pro. Come on, folks. Couldn't we have been a little bit more clever with any of this? I'm going to keep saying EB because I'm from Chicago and that's where it was. Bought it from I bought this Wii card about a month ago to buy Mega Man on the Virtual Console. I never opened it. Mega Man kept getting pushed back. I was finally, the other day, I was like, well, why am I even waiting anymore? I can buy Mega Man 9 for my 360 and or PS3 or whatever and be done with it and be happy. So I was going to trade this back in, get my credit back, put the money down on a Rock Band, which I still need to do. I had to somehow, in all the craziness, I had not realized it was Sunday already, that this game was coming out. It snuck up on you too, right?
I thought it was Tuesday. I forgot it
a lot more
Sunday.
time. Yeah. So yesterday I was driving home. The mall's kind of on the way home. It's kind of out of the way, so it's going to be 20 additional minutes. Fight traffic, get over there, have to deal with the mall, which I hate all those things. But I was like, I got to do this. Got to get it done before Mom's in town so I don't have to do it when she's here. So I pulled in, went into the EB, walked into the store, and all the people we know and like weren't there. There was one cashier working, I won't mention by name. He's still somewhat new. I remember his first day when I was literally there on his first day. He's never been all that, awesome. I mean, jobs take time to get into, whatever. I'm not going to criticize that part of him, but I was very, very worried about him being all alone, having to deal with me and the two people in front of me. So the first guy in line, the dude at the counter, the EB guy, is trying to explain to him that this is the last copy of Assassin's Creed, and so it's open, but it's new. And the guy, like, he wasn't, neither conversation was going well for them. Like, they didn't understand what the other person was trying to say. Finally, he's like, it's fine, it's new, they don't come with enough boxes, we have to open one. And the guy's like, all right, why didn't you say it from the beginning? And the guy's like, So he bought that game left. The next girl has a PS2 in the PS2 box. I thought she was buying. Turns out, of course, she's trading it in. So I've got to sit there while they take everything out of the box and go through and make sure it works and yada, yada, yada. And then her EB Edge card wasn't working for some reason. So he's like, well, I'll use mine. So he took his out and his wasn't working either. I was like, ah.
Well, you know what? They just changed the standout things where you swipe your card that you do yourself. They changed those recently. I think they're busted.
Oh, really?
So he might not have known that they were new.
Yeah, so they were going, and then she's like, well, it's no big deal, just put the credit on this gift card. And he couldn't put the credit on the gift card, so then he had to put it on the card, and then she didn't believe that it was going to work because the card wasn't working 2 seconds ago, so how would it take money? So they went through this thing, finally gives us the sheet. Finally, I get up there. I tell him, hey, I'm trading this back in. He's like, well, actually, I shouldn't do this. And I'm like, why not? And he's like, well, we don't accept returns over a month. And I'm pissed off already. And I go, funny story. It's only been 28 days. This thing isn't bad until the 12th. He's like, what day is it now? I'm like, the 10th? He's like, oh, okay. I'm like, yeah, damn right, okay. Take the card. Give me the money.
Whoa, did you say that?
No. Oh. I'm trying not to kill anybody. Or burn. I go to this EB all the time. I don't need to burn bridges. So finally, I'm like, all right, yeah, I need to, he does all that. I buy a points card, too, because I need to pick up Galaga Legion still, and I was out of things.
Not a Wii points card,
No,
right?
no, yeah, Xbox. So he goes, he's like, oh, well, there's a problem. You know, you only have $20 with this credit, but you need to put down a minimum of $25. And I'm like, on the car, I'm like, what? He's like, no, for the bundle. I'm like, I'm not buying the bundle, dude. I just need Rock Band the game, Rock Band 2 the game. He's like, oh, okay. So he starts going through the system, and he's like, all right. And then finally checks me out. He's like, all right, here you go, man. See you later. And I take the receipt. I walk out. The dude behind me steps into line. I walk out. As soon as I get through the door, I open up the receipt. He's reserved me Rock Revolution. Konami Rock Revolution.
Oh,
I'm like,
my God.
Oh, disaster.
No. Can you still hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh,
yeah.
wow. I can hear you.
Headphones got unplugged.
Yeah, sorry. So I'm like,
No.
So I walk back in the store, get back in line. The dude in front of me checks out. He's buying, I think, Need for Speed, something or other. And so dude's like, hey, what's up, man? I'm like, you gave me Rock Revolution. I want Rock Band 2. Game only. He's like, oh, sorry, man. So he's going through. He's like, huh. He's like, oh. I don't see it in here, man. I'm like, I guarantee. There's like all these signs for Rock Band 2 pre-order.
Yeah.
I'm like, I guarantee Rock Band 2's in there. Please find it. So he goes some more. Finally, he's like, oh, here it is, blah, blah, does it up. Hands me the receipt. I walk out of the store again.
Please say it's Rock Revolution again.
No. Well, it's order cancel, Rock Revolution, reserve order deposit, Rock Band 2. But then it says Rock Band 2 OLC space S.
What is that?
I have no idea. That's why we're going to call right now the EB we go to, because we know we can trust people who work there during the day generally. We will ask for Kerry. We like him, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Kerry is awesome.
All right. What?
Oh, no.
You dialed a 9?
Yeah, I dialed 9. It's just busy, I think.
Trying again.
All right, hold on.
The epic quest continues.
I know. And like, just very upsetting. Oh, here
There
we
it
go.
goes.
All right, getting close here. Everybody be cool. Everybody be cool.
Calling GameStop where you can trade your games and save money. This is Dustin. I'm out.
Hey, Dustin, is Kerry working?
It doesn't work. I don't think he works this week.
Okay, what about Leanne?
Not today.
All right, Dustin, you're my only hope. I don't know you too well. This is Greg Miller from IGN. You're currently on Podcast Beyond. How are you?
Oh, I'm good.
All right, cool, dude. Hey, last night I came in and went through a whole production trying to reserve Rock Band 2, just the game. And so when I finally left, I looked at my receipt and it says Rock Band 2 OLCS.
OLCS.
I want to make sure this is game only. Rock Band 2 on 360. Sorry, PS3 people. I already put a whole bunch of money into.
And it's later anyway.
Anyways, oh yeah, good point. Can you double check that I have the item number? I want to make sure this is Rock Band 2. It was a very long production.
1999, right?
Yeah,
Okay. You want me to do?
I just want to make sure it's game only 360.
Let's see. Let me check. Yeah, it's game only.
Oh, thank God. All right, I'll see you Sunday. You're a gentleman and a scholar. Thank you.
Yeah, so I'm on a podcast.
Yeah, Podcast Beyond.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, IGN's leading Thursday podcast.
Oh yeah. Well, I listen to it, so.
No, you don't. Go give me a Beyond.
Sick.
You don't listen to this show. You're a liar.
I haven't listened to it in a while.
All right, well, I just said give me a Beyond, and you said 6. So give me a Beyond.
Beyond.
There we go. All right. Thank you so much, Dustin.
Thanks.
All right, bye.
Bye.
All right, that went well.
Yeah, mission complete.
Yeah, mission Fission mail.
Fish and mail.
Ah, all right then. So I guess I'm okay.
All right, I'm going to have to look for that on mine when I go pre-order. That is the end of Reader Mail and Greg's story at the same time.
Mail call. It was
Now-
epic.
Yep, it was epic.
Oh,
Now,
no, the plug just came out of the phone.
oh,
or
no.
something crazy.
Ryan's breaking things.
Hold on
Are
now.
we're
It's a
still recording.
disaster
That's the
over
most
here.
important
Everything's
part.
okay? We're still
Everything's all right.
OMG.
I don't
The
know.
show
It just
goes-
fell right out.
You
What is-
unplugged the power.
What is this even?
The power.
Ryan's killing everything.
Power of the phone.
Whoa!
Ooh, we're back on.
That was the beep. Remember, we heard that before, and we didn't
That's
know
right.
what the
Maybe you
sound
unplugged it
was.
before. Anyway,
Yep.
back on to the show. Let's get right into the PSN hit of the week. We have a request from.
Hit of the week! Woo!
We have a request from a listener named Kevin. He says he's a listener. Here's why I'm going to pick him as hit of the week. He's been a listener since day one.
Okay.
So this is now, assuming that he's listening to this one, he's now listened to 59 episodes of Podcast
Poor
Beyond.
guy.
I'd say that's pretty loyal. So he says he's an avid PS3 player. Obviously, this is the Beyond. He'd love to be hit of the week. He says he will Floridor all. I'm thinking this guy, he's clearly a listener, so
Sounds
we're
like
going
a
to
good
make
guy.
him hit of the week.
This is a noble hit of the week.
It's
now.
noble.
This is not a disgrace hit of the week.
Yeah, do not disgrace the dude. Just send him a bunch of Beyonds and go kill him in games and stuff like that. His name is Kevin. His PSN ID is Valo_zombie. So
Oh, I know.
Oh,
him.
Velo Zombie.
yeah, VALO_zombie, not the Cranberry song.
PSN hit
In your head. head, in your head, zombie, follow zombie, follow underscore zombie,
So follow underscore zombie is PSN hit of the week. Have fun with all the Beyonds or whatever happens to you.
Beyond.
There you go. NCAA tournament news. Anything on this?
The Dynasty.
Yeah.
It's been a disaster as it's gotten more and more crowded. I mean, Jeff.
Disaster.
I lost a game this past week to the computer. Dropped my Tigers down to 13th ranked last I saw. Jeff has been too busy to play, so he had to have both games this week simulated. I'm so busy that I'm going to have to simulate the game I was already supposed to have progressed past today. So, when I get back to my desk, after I pick up my mom, after I post SmackDown, I have to go in and push this head day. I got a
Had
PSN.
your mom play it for you.
I had a PSN message that somebody quit. So we're down to 2 users and me and Jeff. I don't know.
Is your
man.
mom coming into the office?
This is the biggest disaster ever. I don't know what I'm going to do with my mom. Okay. I'm picking her up at 1, but Roper's leaving. Jeff's gone. So we need a presence in the office. So
Ryan's going to be here to hold the ship.
Well, see, that's my thing. I think I'm gonna pick her up, maybe ask if she has to eat, and if she's hungry, get something to eat, drop her off at home, come back here to publish, and make sure we're on. I mean, the problem is, too, that on top of this, you have to write some Alone in the Dark stuff, right?
3 previews for tonight.
3 previews for tonight. Jeff's gone, so we have to do the PSN update and picks of the week and all that crap. It's a bad day to be on the PlayStation team and in the office.
Crazy days.
You're working from home.
And Ryan has to edit the podcast.
Yep.
Yeah, so basically, I mean, that's the thing, like, you know.
Have her come in. Have her. We'll.
I think she should play your game for you.
We'll record another podcast. With her.
Yeah, I was thinking about just having her come in and sit there, but I mean, there's nothing for her to do. You know, it's not like she's playing the games. I don't have any movies here.
She can play NCAA.
She will not enjoy that.
Well, it'll be funny.
Does she even play games at all? Has she in the past?
Yeah, she played some Buzz last time she was in town.
Yeah, there you go.
Cool.
Getting on with this, Ryan, do we have any update from Beast?
No, Beast786. I sure hope I got his number right because I'm reading it all the time. He did not contact me today. So he's probably studying some astrophysics, world-saving dental plan.
I see. He's probably helping those people in Europe with that crazy atom smasher.
Yes.
I think it's going to end the
black
world.
hole.
Okay, so the world did not end.
No. So here's what I'm reading. I could be a little bit off on this, but they turned it on.
The super collider.
The super collider. They turned it on. They were firing protons around. The thing is like 17 miles long or something like that. So they were firing protons in short bursts around a mile or two at a time, whatever they're doing. And they made it all the way around to one end, and I guess maybe fired proton all the way around. Then they did it the other way to make sure that worked, and that was a complete success. The world didn't end on that part, but in about a month or a few weeks' time or whatever is when they're actually going to collide them and create the black hole. So we're not out of the woods yet. So
I really don't
get all your trophies
I'm
collected
all
before
for
then.
Scientific advancement, trust me. But I don't know if creating a black hole is a good idea.
Here's the thing, though.
It sounds like a terrible idea.
Here's the thing, though, is... And this is applicable to PlayStation because if we could travel forward in the future, we can go to the PlayStation 9 and go that commercial from the PS2 days. Is Einstein's theory? I think it's Einstein said that you can travel through time by having 2 black holes because if you travel through it, you travel. I don't know. I forget how this works, but if you have 2 black holes, and you pull one away from the other, and you travel through, and when you come out the other side, you'll have traveled through time.
I think that was proven to be impossible though because the black hole just tears you apart.
But if they can create it in there and learn how to harness its power.
You know it was a good show, except for its last 2 seasons, Sliders.
Remember
that show? Jerry O'Connell,
I remember that
jumping
show,
through
yeah.
holes.
Wasn't that the show where at one point they came out in a universe and there was just a killer bee attack?
Probably.
But and it was only for 30 seconds.
Yeah, at
and
the
then
beginning
the
of the show, they always had we only have to be here for 10 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. I remember a killer bee attack.
I remember the one where they were no men on the planet. Then they were the only
sounds
guys.
like my kind of planet.
I remember one where the men were all oppressed and stuff. They were. It was like
good
it was like the 1950s. Where except in our time, the housewife was supposed to be the housewife, or the man was supposed to be the housewife, and so one of them ran for president. It was this huge deal.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's very interesting.
Great show.
That brings us to the end of the show, I believe.
Yes, we're into the end of the show. I have to make an apology and do a little thing here. If you remember, 2 weeks ago, we completely hyped this Jason Rosenbaum sing-off.
Oh, yes.
Then last week said nothing about it. Didn't say one word. Didn't even remotely register in my head that we forgot to say anything. What had happened is we had to push it back a week, so we did do it Monday. Jason, we Roper was in the room with me,
Yep.
and I will not lie to you. We tried to cheat.
Yep.
We tried everything. This kid
So
destroyed
explain
us.
the songs again.
Was he
Beyond
cheating,
us. No. Jason's a straight up singer, man. Anyways, the songs were Danny California on hard,
Which you picked.
Yeah, Won't Get Fooled Again on hard, which he picked, and then Expert, which turned out to be In Bloom by Nirvana.
Right, which was random, so that wasn't
Yeah,
ahead of
and so
time.
the thing was, if it was best of 3, so we had to win one match to get it to 3, and so. Danny California is my track on Rock Band, and as everyone who listens to Podcast Beyond knows or looks at SingStar, I'm not a good singer. I just really like singing. I just have fun with it. You've seen the karaoke Edna's things. I run on the stage. I like to enjoy it. Jason likes to sing very well, apparently. So Danny California, my voice quivered at one point, and I got a strong 99. He got 100. Expert nailed me.
That was very close.
Yeah, that was.
You dropped the multiplier at one point, which was the difference.
That was the problem. Yeah, so that's what killed me. And then in Who Won't Get Fooled Again, I knew I had no chance in hell of beating him because I had practiced a couple. This has never been one of my songs. I'm not a big Who fan, so I had practiced over the weekend leading up to the original competition and could never get the part where it was outside of its normal. When it's in harmony, it's fine, but when they're like, "I'll tip my hat to the news," when it's there, not knowing the song, as a Weezer, I'm ready for anything they're gonna do because I know where River's voice is supposed to be. But with that, I had no idea. So I looked on my leaderboards and found that Andy Eddy on Team Xbox was awesome at this song, apparently. So I recruited him to come in, and then Roper drew up a law contract. I don't want to spoil the whole video for you because there is a video going live. It should be embedded in the article you got this from. Ryan's going to post when this is all live.
Yeah, I'm going to take care of
hopefully
this.
there's a video embedded in the Podcast Beyond article page right now.
They probably already watched it, and they're like, bring it on,
Yeah,
Greg, come on.
So, anyway, so Andy Eddy came. We won that one by hook and crook, but you'll see it's not a good win in any way. And then Rosenbaum gets so pissed off. He gets so pissed off on the phone when we tell him. So then we went to deciding game 3, and I think you'll like how that one went down. And then I sang the Portal song, Still Alive, in a homemade Superman costume. So go check out this video.
So you ended up losing overall.
Yeah.
But everybody wins because you're a Superman.
Yeah, I had a good time.
Yeah,
and you can check it out right now on PlayStation 3 page, right? That's the top story.
And you feel like, quote unquote, losing to him, such a skilled singer, is okay. You don't feel like.
Well, no, I knew I didn't have a chance coming in. Yeah. Please. You watch those videos, I'm like, yeah, he's really good. All right. And again, it's the only game he plays. I'm sure you guys see this too. I have one of the only drawbacks to this job as far as our hobby of video games is the fact that when I was outside of this job, I would get, when NCAA would come out, my world shut down for 6 months or whatever, and I'd play that one game nonstop and be phenomenal at it. However, now we get games like Last Guy or whatever, things that we really dig and love and play nonstop for that week.
And then you end.
It's over, and somebody wants you to come back to do it again. You're like, awesome, you come back, and you're never going to be as good as you were when you had nothing to do. So, for him to sing nonstop, all this stuff, I was like, yeah, I'm done. I when Rock Band originally came out, me and Katie played it every night for 3 months, but then it just went to being a, sometimes weekend fun activity.
Yeah.
So, I feel bad, all the kids who, watched me beat Kennedy, when I wrestled him in SmackDown, by the time that video went up and the game came out, everybody's like, oh, bring it on, I'll kill you. I'm like, yes, you would. I am not going to be good at this game anymore. I've had to play 3 things. That's my sob story.
Yep.
Sorry, everybody.
It is very true. Our skills are diverse, not specific.
Exactly.
That's how it
Except
goes.
mine. I just suck at everything.
Oh, no.
You brought that amongst yourself. I didn't even say that. You brought
You're
that amongst yourself.
probably the
It was a
premier Pixel
preemptive.
Junk Racers guy in the office.
You're right. God.
I was okay at that game. 10 minutes I played it.
Yeah?
Yeah, Bracers.
Yeah.
That brings us to the end of the show. What kind of music outlude? Is it outlude? Because there's an interlude if it's in the middle. I'm going to call it an outlude.
Okay.
Exit
I
lude.
like it.
Don't forget to send messages to beyond@ign.com.
Beyond.ign.com to get included in the read 'em out.
And
Now, hey,
stop freaking voting for resistance covers.
stop voting for the resistance covers.
It's
Now,
so over.
some people, let me make this little thing here. Some people write in messages and they say, "Hey, you don't read you didn't read this last week, so read it this week." Let me count the pages of email and remember that there's about 4 or 5 emails per page. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17,
This is the most exciting
18,
part of our podcast.
Yeah, it's a
19,
good show,
20.
conversational.
Yeah, I liked it.
20 pages of mail with probably 5 questions each. So we have 100 pieces of questions to read
Blah.
for this show alone. So if you write in and we don't read your question, It's not because we don't think it's good or whatever.
We don't mean to be jerks.
No, it's time. I'm trying to read the questions that a lot of people are asking. I'm trying to read the stuff that we can, that we know very well, and all the sorts of things.
Just like the PSN thing, you get so many. There's so much content you can't.
Yeah, and some of these things we've answered before.
You,
like
thank you for listening.
Somebody wrote in and wants to know what our most anticipated games are for the end of this year. We've done that to death. Some people write in and say, hey, when is this game coming out? And if it's already been announced or whatever, we're not going to bother to answer that here. Things like will the Rock Band drum brain, can you take that from PS3 to 360? That's an interesting question that probably not a lot of people are going to know, so that's the kind of stuff we answer on here. So,
and also,
so
I don't know, I think we should remind the readers, I think it helps at least. I can't really say because you're the one that chooses the questions, but I think it helps if they have like a concise, relatively clear question and it's just there.
Oh, no, it doesn't matter.
I don't know, a lot of those readers write in with epic like theses. Theses, is that the plural of a thesis?
I don't know.
Whatever. Know. But anyway, a thesis on stuff, and I just feel like that those never get written or read.
Well, no. If I read those, I just highlight the the interesting 2 or 3 sentences and just read that bit.
So basically, what we're saying is ignore everything I just said.
Yeah, ignore Ryan at all times.
Word.
That's not.
There you go. Let's get back to the music outerlude.
A lot of people,
introduce it?
Yeah, a lot of people liked last week's Podcast Beyond. We were trying to kick the Podcast Beyond musical into gear. Oddly enough, we did not hear from the kid that is supposedly working. I bet he's dead.
Don't say that.
I'm sorry, it's true.
That's scary.
This is our only form of contact with him is this podcast, and he did not respond to the "Hey, where's our podcast?" musical. So, that was my text message. Mom's on the ground, I bet. Anyway, so we're gonna do another original thing. Me and Ryan, another impromptu thing. It's not from the musical. This is just
this is impromptu.
This is just music in the podcast room for you.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez, and there's someone at the door and he's staring at me and it's freaking
Dunham.
me out.
All right, I'll sing about Dunham. We're doing the outro song. You're the subject.
Jeremy Dunham's
Give me
in the
a
room.
beat.
Are you ready for this?
Remix.
Oh, do you know Jeremy Dunham? He used to be my manager. Now he's my big-time manager. He's Jeremy Dunham. Didn't have a beard, but he does right now. Likes Coke Zero. Likes Coke Zero. Do you know the Hulk? Jeremy does. Has a bunch of figures. Probably plays cosplay. Cosplay with the Coke Zero.
Podcast Beyond.
We'll see you guys next week.
Peace. Beyond?